live, baby.
We are live.
We're live.
We are live.
We're live.
So I was trying before. I was in my car. Hi.
What's up?
Hi, Mom.
What's up?
She doesn't watch.
Do Mom
the
watch
show.
this? Yeah, I don't think so. Mine doesn't either.
Are you kidding me?
Who
watches? I don't know.
Things to do. Yeah.
I was in the car, and on the way here,
Fine.
I sent a Facebook Live saying, for people out there, we're going to do a little segment on the show.
Right.
We'll put it at the end.
Right.
For those that have any questions on Judaism or not even Judaism, and you want to ask things that you didn't know about or whatever, we want people to go ahead and submit your questions here, whether it's here or here. We have two feeds going on.
You want to do like random questions?
I think anything that's on your mind that you want to ask about that you just don't know the answer to, you're very knowledgeable. I'm going to give you some credit.
Thanks.
You're very, very knowledgeable, and it's an opportunity for people that just have something you want. You don't want to call a rabbi. You got it right here. He's right
Johnny,
here.
I love you, man. I love
He's
you.
right here. So
I am right here. I'm very excited about this segment that you're calling. What are you calling this?
This is called Stump the Sprung.
Stump the Sprung. Okay.
Yeah.
Stump the Sprung.
And
that's a great topic. It's gonna be good. Little Bitcoin and Torah. I can tell you the difference between Bitcoin and Torah. Torah is gonna be around in 100 years. That's the difference between Bitcoin and Torah. That's the difference. Is Bitcoin? Torah's gonna be around. Amen. I like it. I just think that the segment's probably gonna get boring after they stump me like 15 times in a row, and they're gonna be like, "This is not even a thing."
For all those that are watching,
I guess we're just gonna see.
Share.
Guys,
share it. Share this, please.
Stump Sprung.
You can't stump him.
Okay. Wait a minute, Johnny. I thought you were in Tallahassee, man. Aren't you in Tallahassee?
Chodesh Tov, Tanya.
Yes,
Chodesh
seriously.
Tov.
Yo, it's Adar.
I can't go to the meeting tomorrow, Tanya. I gotta call you about that.
That's true story.
Big singles event is coming up, man.
Big singles event. Yeah, like that's what happened today is just out of control. Out of control. Crazy. I don't even know what to say. I don't know what to say. Like it's again, you're just like again and you know what? Oh, you're back already. That's good, man. I hope you had a great time over there. I think it's really important what you guys are doing. In terms of that whole thing that's going on in
Parkland.
Right, in Parkland. It just every time this happens, you hear the same two sides coming out of the woodwork. It's the people that are saying, "See, I told you we need to get guns off the streets," and then it's the other people that say, "No, it doesn't make a difference. They'll kill people with knives."
You mean the Democrats and the Republicans?
You can look at it that way, sure. Okay. Democrats, Republicans.
Thank you so much.
And to me, it just seems so blatantly obvious that the society is the problem. The problem is not guns. And the problem is not politics, and the problem is not schools. The problem is, dude, that would be great and you should. The problem is people. People are the problem. Society is the problem. And the biggest like proof to this is that nowadays we have people that are killing other people with cars, with trucks, with knives, with pipe bombs. It's like you're not going to stop lunatics and sickos, let alone evil people, who are, by the way, in my opinion, much more dangerous than lunatics and sickos. But evil people are even worse. You're not going to stop those people by taking guns off the street or by legislating these things. It's not about that. The problem is the society. We're so broken, man. We're broken on the family level. We're broken on the school level. We're broken on the socioeconomic level. We're broken on the political level, on the governmental level. We're broken on the street. We're broken on the street. And we've spoken about this many times, obviously. We've spoken about this so many times that, the first thing that everybody tells you in Western society is, yeah, you can talk to anybody about anything, just don't bring up politics or religion. I know I sound like a broken record about this, but it just, yeah? When they say to you, don't speak about religion or politics, what they're saying to you is two things. They're saying two things, and both of those things are horrible, horrible, horrible things that they're saying. Number one, don't talk about religion or politics because this is so important to people and it means so much to them that they might get offended by what you say, and therefore you shouldn't talk about it.
Okay.
Right? So instead of talking about the things that are most important to you in the world, instead just talk about things that don't matter at all. That's it. Just make sure that wherever you have a conversation with people, that you're talking about things that don't matter, because heaven forbid you should say something that somebody won't like. Avoid it.
Well, it happens also in the Jewish world, as well. It's not just about
how does that happen?
Because there's a lot of topics that are talked about in the Jewish world that some people get very offended about, or get very oversensitive about.
Right.
It's the same way as well. I'm not saying
That's people.
Okay, that's
the
fine.
issue's people. People are the problem. They've always been the problem. And if we don't start fixing this on the low level, I'm talking about on the bedrock level. If we don't fix the family unit, if we don't fix the community unit, we're never going to heal as a country. We're never going to heal as a world.
On a side note, did you know that Parkland is the most safest, I would call it sub-city of South Florida? And this is what happened today. Parkland is known as the least crime possible.
Yeah, so I wouldn't put this in a category. I wouldn't put this in a category of crime. The issue can't be. No, Johnny, I agree. The issue cannot be ignored. It absolutely cannot be.
What
ignored.
are you guys doing about it in your school? Are you guys prepping for? I mean, have you guys?
So at Sheikh Hillel, I proudly say that we are, obviously everything is in the hands of God, but thank God we do everything that is within our power under natural law to ensure that we are safe, and that means walls, and that means guards everywhere, and that means taking security very, very seriously. And as you can see, we all walk around with these little badges that are attached to us all the time to get in and out the doors, and we take it very seriously because we live in a crazy world. But the point is, let me tell you something. Here's the thing. When I was a kid, there were no school shootings. And when I was a kid, you can get on an airplane without all those security lines. But tell me something. When I was a kid, weren't the gun laws the same? Weren't the laws the same? It's not the weapons.
The bagel breaks have not changed either.
The bagel breaks have not changed. It's the people. The people are the problem. We need to fix the people. We have to fix them.
What changed? I mean, when I was in Hillel, by the way, I know you have these badges and you have... When I was in Hillel... I mean, leaving the school was as easy as walking out whenever you wanted to.
Yeah,
and you were high-fiving the security guards. See ya.
Yeah, those days are over, man.
They're over?
It's like, it's serious. It's a serious operation.
You can't skip school,
No, it doesn't. It's great. It's great.
It's good for teachers, not good for the students.
It's great for the students. It's better for the students. Tell me something. How much did you gain as a human being from skipping school?
I had a lot of fun.
Yes, that you did, and you don't remember any of it, right?
No. But I miss those days.
Yeah. Oh, Johnny, you're saying how do we fix the people?
That's what I want to know.
Okay, that's a great question.
So you're talking about a micro level of fixing the families.
Right.
How
Okay. So first of all, I don't think that I have all the answers to that. And
Rosh Chodesh Adar Tov. By
that's
the way.
right.
Baruch atah Adonai Elokeinu melech haolam borei pri hagafen.
Amen. Yeah. Mike is out. Cantorius is out. I have that effect on people. So the first thing that I would say is that nothing happens in a vacuum. Meaning you don't have a guy that gets to the point where he has access to these types of terribly, terribly dangerous weapons and then goes and shoots up a school without knowing beforehand that something like this could happen. You know that this guy's clearly off the rails. Right. You know that that something's wrong with the family, with the community, with something. It takes a village. You have to have a village. There have to be people who are concerned with people's welfare and with their well-being. And then they start to, you see the signs. You see this kid needs help. There's something wrong. But once you realize that this kid needs help, because believe me when I tell you, he didn't go from yesterday being completely normal to today shooting up a school, obviously. And in fact, I saw somewhere on one of these news outlets, I don't know if it's true, but yeah, I understand that. I really do. But we have to get some distance between us and this specific school and this specific topic, because it's not only this school, right? It's a pervasive problem. And again, the same way that you know people that went to that school, I saw a bulldozer run over people and try to kill multiple people in Israel, right? You're not going to get rid of bulldozers. And especially if you've been to Israel as many times as I have.
You actually witnessed that?
Yeah.
What was that?
It was the first one. It was a few years ago, and it was the most just horrible and jarring
Holy cow,
thing.
I didn't realize
it was crazy. I was like 3 feet away from it.
And you saw them shoot the Arab afterwards? And
I saw them shoot the terrorist.
You could say Arab. Why can't you just say that?
Because he didn't shoot the Arab, he shot the terrorist. If the terrorist would have been a guerrilla, he would have shot the terrorist who's a guerrilla.
This is where it's going to get complicated.
Dude, the guy, first of all...
You're now becoming sensitive and you're giving political correct words. Yes, he's a terrorist.
No.
He's a terrorist.
Correct? Why would I call him the Arab? He's the terrorist.
He's a terrorist.
Call him the Arab. That's like saying he's a Capricorn. He shot the Capricorn.
Okay, fine.
Capricorn is incidental to the fact that
they
he's
shot
a
the terrorist who happened to be an Arab.
Who happen to, yeah.
Which are the ones that don't like us in Israel.
Right.
So why can't I say, why do you have a problem if I say, why do you have a problem if I'm saying that?
I don't have a problem with it.
Well,
I don't think it's precise.
Why?
Because the operative issue was not the fact that he was Arabian. The operative issue was the fact that he was a terrorist. And if he would have been an African terrorist as opposed to an Arabian one, or if he would have been an American one as opposed to an Arabian one, or an Antarctican one, then that would have been the same thing. You have to kill terrorists. You don't have to kill Arabs, you have to kill terrorists.
Agreed, you have to kill a terrorist, but you can't hide the fact that that's the race that is against us and they want to kill us.
Okay, I think that there are certainly.
I just don't want you to. There's no reason to sugarcoat it. People are like, "Oh, we can't say that."
No,
I'm not sugarcoating. I'm telling you the
truth.
It's the truth.
I'm trying to be precise with my terminology. I don't think this is about political correctness. There's not a political correct bone in my body. But back to the other issue. Okay, back to the other issue. Here's what I'm saying, Michael. Okay, here's what I'm saying. Saying that if this kid would have been on the radar screen of the community and the family, do you think at some point someone might have come to the conclusion that he shouldn't be around firearms? Right?
I mean, is that a private school?
I believe it's a public school, but that's not the issue. I'm talking about in his house. If you know the kid, if people are concerned with the lives of other people, if they see each other on a regular basis, if they're involved in the day-to-day existence of people in their community, they would recognize that there's something wrong with this kid. And if there's something wrong with this kid, that's going to translate very quickly into we cannot have him near anything that's deadly. That's obvious. That's A, B's, and C's. That's A, B's, and C's. And I started to mention before that I saw in the news that apparently this kid was already suspected in the school. And the school had said that he's not allowed anywhere near the school with a backpack because they thought he might be carrying weapons.
Oh, wow.
But do you see all of the problems that have to happen in order for a tragedy of this epic proportions to occur? There have to be so many dropped balls, fumbled balls on the way for this to happen. And in terms of the gun control thing, Michael, just a very, very quick thing. And again, I'm a little bit agnostic on the issue, but for this, okay, I don't think this is a compelling reason. I don't think there's a country in the world that has more guns per capita than the state of Israel, okay? I mean, if you walk around Jerusalem, you see every 17-year-old girl is carrying an M16 slung over her shoulder.
To defend themselves.
Okay, but the point is that the firearm is not the issue, because how many school shootings do you have in Israel that are perpetrated by people that are carrying those weapons? The answer is zero. You don't have there's no murder there. Why not? Because it's cultural. The issue is culture. The issue is people. The issue is community. You can't, we live in this society where we legislate everything from Washington, right? We legislate everything from this place which is so utterly disconnected from the daily lives of the people that have to live under the laws that they're passing. That's not where justice happens. The Founding Fathers, when they said things like jury of your peers, they were talking about the people that live in your community. You're going to be tried by the people who live around you, by the people who live with you, by the people who interact with you. You're going to be tried by your peers. You're going to be controlled. Justice happens on the community level. It doesn't come out of Washington, man. It's not Ki Mitzion Teitzei Torah. No one says Ki mi Washington Teitzei justice. It doesn't work. There's no justice coming out of Washington.
But again, how are you going to fix a problem? Okay, let's say the guy is, even in a school, let's say the school didn't even know.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
We know this is a child, he's got issues.
Right.
Parents don't care.
Right.
It happens,
great,
right? Welcome to the world.
So that's why
how do you stop that?
Beautiful. So that's exactly why I didn't only say that it happens on a family level. It begins on a family level. From the family level, it extends to the community level. The community is responsible. The community is responsible. The village is responsible. If these parents were checked out to the fact that their kid was so broken, was so troubled, was so whatever, X, okay? I don't know what this kid in particular's issues were. If the parents are so checked out, where's the neighbor? Where's the guy that sits next to them in the pews, in the church, in the synagogue, in the mosque?
What if he doesn't go to any of them? What if he's a loner? What if he doesn't even do any of that stuff? Right. And you're making it sound to seem that every single neighbor that lives in every community cares really about their other neighbor. Now, that's a question. Now
they don't.
Okay.
They don't.
So this is now you're talking. Now we're going deeper.
Yeah. I'm saying we need it. We need community. We need the family. We need the family unit to be operative, and we need the community unit to be operative, and we need the national unit to be operative. But it starts in the micro. It doesn't start in the macro. There's no trickle down for this. There is no trickle down for this. It's not the weapons and it's not the laws. It's never the legislation. It's always, always, always the people.
And I think that
It's
you're
the
being
people.
very optimistic to believe
That.
And again, I think all your ideas are, everything you're saying to me, I agree with you.
Oh, thanks, man.
But welcome to the real world where unfortunately this does not happen.
Well, it hasn't happened yet.
Maybe it's our job to tell them that.
Of course it's our job.
It's
But dude, don't you understand? This is what the Torah was talking about when it gave us the commandment of arvut, of being a guarantor for our entire society. When the Torah says that you are responsible for what goes on in your community, it wasn't joking. It wasn't saying, "Oh, it's so nice to care about your neighbors." This isn't like a happy clappy thing. This is actually, it's a Gemara in Sota.
Break it down
It's
for
a
me.
pasuk, baby.
Give it to me.
So I'm telling you, you are responsible for the actions that are available for you to know for the entirety of your society. You're responsible. If there's a guy down your block that's stealing, first of all, why is he stealing? Is he poor? Did you know he was poor? Did you know he needed to steal? Why didn't you give him tzedakah? Why didn't you offer him a job? And. Things don't go from 0 to 60 in an instant. They move slowly, linearly, and methodically. And the idea is that we have to be on top of every single thing that happens in our community. We have to be on top of our homes, again, because it always starts at the nucleus. The nucleus is the family unit. And then there's the shul. There's your community unit. And that has to be so strong. And in fact, it's interesting because I remember one time Rabbi Lau, who was at the time he was the chief rabbi of Israel, and he was giving us a class on something or other, whatever it was, and he said, I don't really need any help from you guys in America. The one thing that we, the Israelis, can learn from you is community. And he was right, and it's true, because we do have community. And that's one thing that I'm incredibly proud of. I'm proud to be a Jew for many reasons, but I'm proud of my community. I'm very proud of my community. I really, really am, because we have rabbis in the community who, if someone, for example, I don't want to say any names because I don't know how they would feel about it in this open forum, but there are rabbis in the community that I've spoken to, and that they say, they have a discretionary fund where they will take money and pay the car payments for people in the community. And I was talking to a certain rabbi, and he said to me, he goes, Shlomo, you don't understand, if we don't pay the $300 a month or whatever it is on this guy's car payments, his car gets repossessed.
Right.
The second his car gets repossessed, he can't make it to work. He can't feed the kids. That $300 a month is going to change the lives of X people, 5 people, 7 people, however many people it is. You're talking, but if you fumble the ball on the $300 a month, if you fumble that ball,
then it's a snowball effect.
Then it snowballs.
Yep.
If you fumble the $300 a month, you get murder. That's the point. You can't fumble the little one. Don't fumble the kickoff. That's what I'm saying. So community is about that. Community is everyone on top of each other. And granted, obviously it has its disadvantages also, or at least it's less than pleasant things, because everybody knows when this happens and everybody knows that, and everyone knows who's also dating who and what and where. And
but I was going to say on that $300 level, also unfortunately, it's also embarrassing for that person and their family. That's why
it goes through the rabbi. Right? So I don't know who that person was.
Hopefully.
I don't know who that person was, but I know the Rav.
Okay.
So I know that when it comes time, and by the way, this is, for those of you who are watching, we're coming up on Purim, and on Purim there are some major mitzvahs, and one of them is Matanot Lev Yonim, is presents to the poor, to those who need it. And I hope that each and every one of you who is watching has in your community rabbis like the ones that we have in our community. And if you don't, then I suggest you give me a call, and I will point you to the right people. And they really are the right people. They really are the right.
That's right. How come we don't know that one? So now we're laughing. Can we move on to another topic?
Yeah. I'm sorry that I went down this rabbit hole with you, man.
At this point, you might as well have the Shlomo Sprung show. See ya!
Dude, it's not. Yeah, and you knock over all the cups.
Oh God, I'm so sorry.
Well done.
You're very passionate about this. I have to say, I
care.
I can totally take a seat and just watch you talk about this and rant about this. And I actually want to say that it'd be really cool somehow some way. Again, I see you're very passionate about it. Maybe we can get you in front of City Hall. Get you in front of somewhere that you can read this message that you're saying.
I don't think City Hall is the problem. I don't want to talk to the government. I want to talk to the people.
But
government can't legislate morality. This is an issue of morality. This is an issue of people understanding what is the right thing to do, what is the wrong thing to do.
I don't know how you're going to get this message across to so many people.
Like this, man. On Facebook.
Guys, keep sharing
YouTube.
it and sharing it.
Yeah,
and
sharing is caring. Sharing is caring. And Johnny, to your question about the NRA Should you make gun possession harder? Yeah, sure. I'm all for making gun possession a very, very rigorous thing. The same way that we make driving a driver's license a rigorous thing.
Hey, Johnny, I'll see you at the shooting range on Sunday, buddy, okay?
I don't have a problem with shooting ranges either because, again, they're very, very protected. But the point is, if you're going to go get a passport or a driver's license or anything like that, there are steps that you have to go through. Why would gun ownership be less than that? Right? You can still have a very strong Second Amendment and have, educational, not educational, but at least normal barriers for entry when it comes to that sort of thing. And I'm not in the FBI. I don't know what the data show. I don't know where you would want to draw that line. But again, like I said before, it doesn't matter because you take the gun out of the evil guy's hands and he uses his car, and you take his car and he uses a horse or a pipe bomb or a match. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Do you know that there were terrorists in Israel? I don't know if you guys were following the news a little while ago. I think it's about a year now. There were fires, raging fires throughout the country, throughout the country that did billions of dollars of damage, caused tremendous displacement of human beings, was horrifically dangerous, could have killed tons of people. What do you think it was? Lightning? You think somebody accidentally put their cigarette on the floor? That was arson. It was arson. Well, why'd they do that? It was terror. Well, burn your forest down. So now you want to regulate matches?
Yeah, but Hashem protected.
Thank God. But my point is that it's never the tool. It's the human being who is holding the tool. And if you have evil people, they'll kill you with shovels. And they'll kill you with shoes, and they'll kill you with matches. And if you have good people, then you can hand them bazookas and you'll be safe. That's basically the idea.
Let's move on to a different topic.
Yeah, different topic.
Because I want to go from somber to even more somber.
Oh, great. Yes!
Why not?
Why not? Why not?
By the way, happy Rosh Chodesh Adar, everyone! Which we're going to talk about too if we have enough time, because we spent 25 minutes talking about
Parkland. It's 8:15 already. You got to talk fast.
I got 10 minutes.
Talk fast.
Okay. I had an experience today.
That is not fast.
That was a tough one for me. A good friend of mine, his mother passed away at a young age of 64. And
she was sick?
And she was sick. She was sick with cancer. And this is a person that I lived in their home for many years growing up. She was the first person to convince my parents that I'm allowed to sleep out, to actually sleep over a friend's house, because my parents were very strict when I was growing up.
Really?
Yeah, they didn't let me do anything. Thus, me now.
Parents, let that be a lesson to you.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to pull the plug on the pity party.
Be strict on your kids. You'll end up like me. I'm the poster boy.
You might want to give them a little room, is all I'm saying. You might want to loosen the leash a little bit.
It's absolutely okay to get drunk on Rosh Chodesh Adar.
No, it's not.
Just kidding. It's not true. Okay. And not true. L'chaim.
Let's see if at least you're.
And it was a tough one for me.
Water.
Not only because obviously I knew her very well.
Right.
But during the Levaya.
Yeah, during the funeral.
Are you talking about yesterday's Levaya?
No, we're talking about today's Levaya. Hi, how are you? How you doing?
Today?
Yes.
Today, yeah.
And it was a very tough one for me. I was sobbing like a baby.
Sure.
Not only because I knew the person, but in the Levaya, this
Levaya
person
means funeral, for those of you who don't speak Spanish.
And they were, memorializing her and saying good words and eulogizing.
Yeah, for sure.
And the rabbi who was there said something very, it was tough. And he said like this. He said, look, she became Baal Tshuva on a very high level in the last 10 years.
Baal Tshuva means someone that becomes observant in Judaism who didn't grow up that way.
Correct. And she was a person, when I say about Tshuva, I mean, again, we're talking about a person who not only, her whole life was a very hospitable person, but she was heading out to about 4 different shiurim a day. Okay?
Really? 4
For
classes
many
a day?
years. Yes. This is, I found this out, obviously, when I got into the world of Torah.
Right.
Women, there are tons of women classes that are happening throughout South Florida, throughout the day.
Yeah.
And there are literally women that, Baruch Hashem, don't have to work.
Right.
And they flock around from one class to another class, going to one shul, to another shul, to a person's house.
That's amazing.
She was one of them. She was a very high level Baal Tshuva.
Okay.
And so throughout that process, eventually she got sick.
Right.
She got cancer. And the rabbi said, and this rabbi was also family members with her as well.
Oh, okay.
He's a pretty, I don't know if I'm going to say the name right now, but
okay.
He said, why? Why did it have to be this way? Why is it that a person who strives so hard to get close to Hashem, to do all the mitzvahs, to learn Torah, to do Gemilut Hasadim, she did crazy amount of programs. Right. Why? She's 64 years old. She had so much more life to give, to live. Why? And obviously from the perspective of God, who is a true judge of truth and of emet, obviously we are nobody to say. We don't know what's going on behind the scenes.
Right.
But it goes back to that question. I was thinking about people who were there, who were not observant.
Right. In the funeral.
And again, I want to say the Levaya was incredibly strong and moving, and I'm sure people, the rabbis that said, just let's learn from her. Let's learn from Gemilut Hasadim. Let's learn from everything she's done to inspire all of us. And I'm thinking of also the people that are not observant and go, look at this person. She went in the path of Judaism, went deep to get close to God, tried to do all the mitzvahs, all the good things, and she passed away. And it's like she got a sickness and why would I do it? Why?
I'm sorry. Bro, I love you. I don't mean to make light of your pain at all.
It's not my pain. I looked at people there and I know them.
That's not why I'm laughing. I'm sorry. I was laughing because the thought was funny to me that your question implies that the reason to learn Torah is to not get cancer.
100%.
And that's ridiculous.
Perfect.
It's ridiculous.
And I'm not. By the way, I'm going at you from a devil's advocate perspective because unfortunately, a lot of people believe that if I do X, God will do X for me. And I know that's not the way it is. But maybe you can go ahead and clarify to the audience so they understand.
This much I can clarify.
I'm setting you up.
God, thank you. I appreciate that very much. It turns out that God is in fact not a pickle machine. You don't put a quarter in, turn it, and get one of those sticky hands at Chuck E. Cheese. It doesn't work that way.
My kids did on Sunday though.
Right, but they didn't do it with God. They did it with Chuck E. Cheese. Okay, it works with Chuck E. Cheese.
And you can't get anything at Chuck E. Cheese for what amount of money? Okay, sorry.
Are we really talking about Chuck E. Cheese?
No, we're not.
Okay. So the idea that if a person is sick, that they're not going to die because they're holy. Do you know what every single holy man 3,000 years ago had in common? They're all dead. You know who dies? Everybody dies. Doesn't feel good, doesn't feel nice, but can I tell you another secret? 64 years, you're right, it is too damn short. It really is too damn short. And guess what? 100 years is also too damn short. And it's all a function of what we're used to and how we see the world. We're not going to get the answer to why she went today. You're not going to get the answer to that. Right? There is no answer. There's no email address, magic email address that you can send an email to and figure out why this woman who you cared about so much had to go today. But if she didn't go today, she would have gone a different day. That's for sure. So the real issue is, but why did she have to die early? Why did she have to die young? I don't know the answer to that question.
It's not just young. Again, I'm talking about from a person who is not connected, who's not religious, who is not connected at all. And the rabbi talks about a person who dedicated the last 10 years of their life going all out into Judaism in relation to Hashem, and then it seems
because going to Torah classes will not necessarily cure your cancer, nor will planting orange trees necessarily cure your cancer. No, right? I don't understand the connection. She went to Torah classes because she wanted to, and she enjoyed it, and she loved it, and it was meaningful to her, and she got something out of it, and her life lit up because of it. How you doing, brother? And it was beautiful.
Rabbi, come over here.
And that was true. There was that, and then also she got sick. She didn't get this. By the same token, that going to a Torah class did not cure her sickness. Going to a Torah class didn't get her sick either. Right? There is the health of a human being and whatever goes into that, and then there's what they do with their health. It's like the good old days, baby. Right?
Ladies and gentlemen, Rabbi Noah Peled.
Yeah.
Will be live very, very soon.
I wish we had one of those clap tracks.
We can do it ourselves.
We can, but then people would see. Under the table. They're under the table.
We're having a very interesting conversation.
Yeah.
And I think I'm going to just switch gears. Once we discussed that, I appreciate that. What you just said.
Yeah.
2 more topics quickly. I guess we have maybe 4 or 5 minutes left.
Yeah, about that.
So, Rosh Chodesh Adar.
Yes.
Which is tonight.
Yes.
Right?
Sure
Rabbi,
is.
introduce yourself. Rabbi Noah Peled, Rabbi of Kevilah, Shalom, located in North Miami Beach, Florida.
I don't want to disturb right in the middle here.
No. We have special guests all the time.
It's all good.
So Rosh Chodesh Adar, this is the month for the Jewish people to have a lot of happiness.
Yes.
Good things are happening for us this month. If you want to buy a lottery ticket, I just heard we're supposed to buy one right now.
Iran, watch out.
Lighthouse Project would love to have a lottery ticket win, and then we could spend a lot more Torah in the world. Come over here, Robert. Come over.
I don't think we need money to spend to spread Torah, by the way. I think these are excuses, right? Like a few guys in a room with some Wi-Fi can spread Torah all over the world for free. No, if we had $1 billion, we could spread a lot of Torah.
If I want everybody who's watching over here and watching over here.
Also $5.
I have news for you. If I spent $1,000 on Facebook advertisement to have Torah classes being streamed through every Jewish person throughout the world, we get 10 times more thousands of views.
Or they could just share it.
No, because people don't want to always share it.
Then that's our fault. We're not good enough. If we
No.
were really, really good, maybe they share.
Absolutely wrong.
They share videos
Absolutely
of
wrong.
cats playing pianos and what they eat for lunch.
I have news
so
for
clearly
you.
we are not
Sprung.
that interesting.
Sprung, listen to me.
Because we're not being shared at the same
I have
rate
news
or
for you.
frequency as cats.
You're wrong, and I'll tell you why you're wrong.
Why am I wrong?
Because people have a very... Look, first of all, let's talk about this. How many Jews are in the
they're
world right now?
embarrassed.
How many Jews are in the world right now?
15 million plus
15
minus.
million plus.
Plus minus.
How many of them are on Facebook?
All of them.
How many of them are not connected to Judaism?
Most of them.
Okay. If there was enough money, because remember, you can only go in so many groups, but at the end of the day, it's irrelevant.
Right.
Paid advertisement with sponsor that shoves a Torah class in someone's face, and you have no idea who you're reaching.
Yeah.
And we know from the Lighthouse Project how many times
I
we
love
put
you
out
and
classes.
I love that shirt.
That is an awesome shirt.
I understand. If you're on Facebook and you see and you get paid advertising to watch a class on like chakras, you're gonna watch it? Like what?
You have no idea how many Jewish people are watching classes on chakras and getting connected in the wrong
Well,
path
maybe the
of
chakras
spirituality.
are more like the cats playing piano, and we need to do a better job so
No,
that we're like cats
no,
playing
because
piano.
those chakras are spending money on their sponsored advertisement to have these Jewish
God,
people
could
watch
you give
about
Mike
chakras.
some money so we could prove him wrong, please?
Send the money.
Send the money.
I just want to spread the Torah throughout the world. Why is this so complicated?
It's not. That's
I don't
the
even
point.
have
It's
a
not.
donate page, but for
It's
those who
not
are watching, I
complicated.
would just want you all to understand. I want to bring Mashiach already, okay?
What
and
would
if
you
that's
do
to
with
happen,
him?
what would I do with him? What would you do with me?
I don't know. I'm just wondering why.
but you didn't have a
Everybody
cup.
wants to bring Mashiach all the time
you don't have a
because
cup
they
here.
don't know what it means.
I'll bring one. No. You want one?
Yeah. Yo, we got to get off. By the way.
No. One more thing.
One more thing.
And I want to talk about it. And
I'm
I'm if anybody has any questions for this guy, quickly, please. But if not, today is a day of love. But unfortunately, I want people to get educated because they don't understand. Today is, in the secular world, it's called Valentine's Day. But
and by the secular world,
people don't
we mean
understand that
Hallmark.
there's a whole behind the scenes on Valentine's Day that
Google
is
it.
totally Avodah Zarah.
Google it.
And I want people to know that because
Yeah,
you're going to
but
be
be nice to
celebrating
your wife
something
anyway.
that is not okay.
Be nice.
You should love your wife, you should love your girlfriend, or you should love your
No.
whatever.
Don't. If you love your wife, don't be nice to your girlfriend. That's a problem. Okay. Yes. It's precisely.
Valentine's Day is not a day to be celebrated. You should love your wife every single day.
That's true.
Google Valentine's
do
Day
you
to
like
understand
do you
all
like-
the
not like Mother's Day
paganistic thing
also?
behind
Do
it.
you
I
also
want
not
people
like
to know
Mother's
that.
Day?
People
Do you
should know
hate-
that.
Do you hate Mother's Day? For the same reason.
I
I'm
love
just
my
curious.
mom every single day.
Okay, so-
but it's a good Hallmark thing. Hallmark
That's
actually
right.
created it.
That's right.
I know that because I know the guy who produces Hallmark Channel.
Okay, so they do, you know.
Okay, but no, it's... Robert, you have something to say. Come on.
Chaim.
All right, guys, I'm live in 9 minutes. We're talking about why is Shabbat so restricted
two guys
and
are live in 9
annoying. Yes, why is Shabbat so restrictive and annoying? Peace and love.
Jews were massacred on that day.
Jews were massacred on
Peace
every
and love.
Rosh Hashanah. They were massacred
Peace and
on
love.
every single day. There's no day out of it. We need more days on the calendar so we can find some days that Jews were not massacred. But in the meantime,
terrible.
Happy Wednesday or
Rosh Chodesh Adar.
Day.
Rosh Chodesh Adar.
Yes, but that's not